Greetings, my lovelies, happy holidays. So today I'll be making a gingerbread house in the form of a cake. So this project is for those of you that have always wanted to make a lovely gingerbread house, but don't really care for the whole assembly and structural integrity aspect of building a gingerbread house. Because let's be honest, it's charming and lovely, but getting it to actually stand and stuff is pretty tricky. So this is a very charming bundt pan, and allows you to bake a gingerbread house out of cake without any fuss. How clever is that? It's made by Nordic Ware. I'm sure you can order it online. But if you really have your heart set on building a true gingerbread house, I shall put a link down below to a video I did a couple years ago of a lovely, simple gingerbread house. Not only is it simple, but there's a technique in which the house is guaranteed to stand. All right, come along with me and I shall show you how to put this little cake together. So first we've got to prepare our pan by spraying it with some cooking spray that contains some flour. If you don't have the spray, you can just use a lot of butter and then dust it with a little bit of flour. Okay, to begin, we're going to sift all of our dry ingredients. We're going to add our cake flour and all of our spices, which is ginger, cinnamon, cloves, and nutmeg, and our salt and baking powder. Next, we're going to cream our butter and sugar together. You can either use a stand mixer or use a mixer with beater attachments. When that mixture is nice and light and fluffy, we're going to add our eggs one at a time. Next, we're going to add our flour in 3 additions, and we're going to alternate that with our milk. So I read in a couple of reviews that this cake turned out kind of light, and I really wanted a nice dark gingerbread colored cake. So I just added 1 teaspoon of cocoa powder just to give it a little bit more contrast and not really any chocolate flavor. And don't forget the vanilla. Next, we're going to spoon the batter into our prepared pan and give it a few taps to make sure the batter gets into all the nooks and crannies. So once all the batter is in the pan, then you're going to take a spoon and gently press the batter up the sides of the walls. Place the pan onto a cookie sheet and bake in a preheated 325-degree oven for 55 to 66 minutes or until a toothpick comes out clean. Once the cake is baked, take it out and allow it to rest upright for 10 minutes before inverting onto a rack and allowing to cool completely before decorating. Here's the simplest way to decorate this cake, and that's just giving it a good snowstorm of powdered sugar. I made a really simple royal icing by just using some powdered sugar, a little squirt of corn syrup, and a little bit of milk. Then place into a Ziploc bag and cut off the corner, and you are ready to pipe. And to make it extra festive, I just made a little wreath out of fondant and stuck that right on that little circle above the door. And there you have it, a beautiful gingerbread house cake. And here is the lovely house. I think both versions are very, very cute. I'm gonna cut this annex off right here. I don't wanna cut this cake, but this is edible after all. Ooh, it looks great. And it smells like Christmas, full of spice. Happy Christmas. And that cake is delicious. Moist, really tender crumb, spiced, but not overly so. And it is quite sweet, but still remains really light. Delicious. I was a little bit concerned that this cake might be a little bit too sweet because it both contained brown and white sugar, but it isn't. It's just perfect. And I do have to say, while making a true gingerbread house, it's lots and lots of fun. It, to me, doesn't actually taste very good. After you've decorated and after you had it sitting around the house for a little while, the gingerbread is actually not really much of a bread, but more of like a really, really hard, sweet, spiced cracker. That's just, to me, not that tasty, even with all that candy and icing. This, on the other hand, is delicious and moist and super charming without all the fuss. Happy holidays, everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. I hope you guys learned something. Share this video with your friends. Follow me on social media. Give this video a little bit of love. And I shall see you in my next video. Toodaloo. Take care. Bye. So, Santa, my son really wants to know, how do you manage to get down that chimney without, getting burned when we have fires?